Hello, my name is Allie and welcome to my channel. We are back with Radiant Tail, technically still on the common route, but because all these answer choices from now on are for Zafora's route, which the route doesn't even start till chapter 6, so I'm just going to say Zafora's route. And also, I've already recorded 17 minutes of this exact episode, but my computer decided to crash, so all of that is gone. So now I have to restart this whole thing all over again. So I'm kind of a little frustrated with that. But anyway, let's go. When I was a student, you might not believe me, but there were researchers that could make chloris bloom all over like popcorn. That being said, even back then, they were kind of the minority. It may not have been as grave as it is now, but there were signs hinting at a plummeting chloris bloom rate, and it makes sense now. Outcomes trump all else in the field of research. If yours bears fruit, you can move your lab to a better location. And you can get more funding, so you can grab all the good tools too. The same goes for students. If you receive recognition for your accomplishments, your reputation increases. Useful in the long run. People put in so much effort because of the rewards at the end of the road, so it's only normal that they'd get tunnel vision, right? Well, personally, I don't think it's worth stressing so much about getting results. You're right. If they got their results, they'd get a payoff. And it's only normal that people would work with the end goal in mind, not the journey. But I still didn't think that was what being a researcher was all about. Thank you. I'll do some digging into the matter myself. Sure. Take as long as you need. Please don't forget about the flyers. Oh, don't be so worried. I don't have that bad of a memory. I certainly hope that's the case. Ginia waved his hand around flippantly, and though I felt a little apprehension, I left the tent area in the end. Okay, black screen. Now is where we start doing Zafora choices. So we are going to go to the Sage Tower entrance, which of course, Zafora is there. Let's go. Oh, pretty. Most residents of Kalita were researchers of scholars, or scholars, not of scholars. That's why I thought coming to the tower would be the best way to understand them. But in the end, I was only allowed into the library, and they were all either reading or writing. I had to go somewhere else. While such thoughts crossed my mind... Zafora! I saw Zafora coming out of the Sage Tower, and our eyes definitely met. I was sure of that, but... He's ignoring me? Zafora should be investigating as well, so I wanted to exchange info with him at least. Though I was a little hesitant, I decided to approach him. Zafora. Zafora was walking alongside an elderly man, a researcher, and I called his name once again as I caught up to him.
Do you know Zafora?
Yes, my name is Lady.
I see. Do you have business with him?
Yes, my apologies for cutting into your conversation, but may I have a moment with him?
You may. Please keep it brief. Time out, after all, is something we're always short on.
Thank you very much. Zafora, sorry for calling you out of nowhere. How's your investigation going? Did you find anything? It's not going too well for me, and it'd help me a lot if you knew any places where I could learn more about the city. You're an information broker after all, so I figured you'd be really knowledgeable about this stuff. Suddenly... CG! Zafora, who'd been quiet the whole time, grabbed my arm and covered my mouth.
Information broker?
I am sorry. She is actually my sister, but... I gotta sneeze. Oh no. Okay, I'm back. I did not want to blow your eardrums out. Ever since an accident when she was a child, she's been having hallucinations. As you can see, she is wont to blurt out nonsense like this.
I feel like I have to sneeze again. Please don't.
What? Hey, where did he get that from?
Oh, how interesting. So that's why you want a sample of the drug I created that can induce hallucinations.
What's this about a drug?
Yes, please forgive me. I forgot to explain and have caused so much trouble for you. Not at all. How about you take your sister home today? Come again on the day we agreed upon, and I'll pass the medicine to you then. I will. Thank you very much. And I have a proposal. In exchange for giving it for free, could you pass on a report about your sister's reaction after administration? She sounds like quite a rare case. I'm very curious how the drug will affect her. Yes, intriguing indeed. I think I can hope for some good data from this. Understood. I shall.
Huh? Zafora easily made a deal built on lies with a smile, and, of course, I was shocked. But this researcher was just as bad, if not worse. He didn't worry about me at all, and even asked Zafora to pass on the results out of morbid curiosity. It felt as if the only thing he cared about was his own research and its outcome. If I were a real patient, I might even have been traumatized by this interaction.
See you in a few days, then.
Perhaps he really was in a rush. After the conversation, the elderly man walked off with large strides. After we lost sight of him in the distance.
Hey, you, what in the world was that? A loose-tongued chatterbox, are we? Your mouth seems to slip up quite often. Have you oiled it or something?
Oof. I wanted to protest, but Zafora's hand was still over my mouth, keeping it all in.
Maybe it'd be better if you were mute like this forever. I'd be left in peace.
He muttered, sounding cranky, before finally letting go of me.
I distinctly remember telling you not to get in the way of my work.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were working. I have to say, this main character is one of the dense ones. I can already tell. Hopefully she changes, but I don't know. And which is very common with Otome games. If you haven't played many Otome games, you won't know, but it's very, very rare to have either a strong main character or in between strong and dense. It's not very common. Most of them are just dense and naive, which can get pretty annoying. You know what I mean? Because, like, there's something right in front of her face, and it's like, woman, just look. You know? It just, I don't know. It's just me, but whatever. He went out into the city like everyone else, so I figured he was investigating too. But he's an information broker. He doesn't have to go through all that trouble. Zafora, do you always hide your background when you're working?
What? Do you want to preach to me that lying is unethical or something?
If you were deceiving people to commit crimes, I would be against that. But I think some lies can cause trouble and others can protect people. Plus, lies are probably part of your job description. I did think it was bordering on the gray zone, but it wasn't a job that one could carry out with honesty alone. I knew that much. But now I'm worried. Due to the fact that it's already blue, because I've already had to do this once, the answer is be careful. Ooh, sparkle sounds. Oh, did you see that? Right over here, it showed the flower bloom, and it said Zafora underneath. Interesting. Okay. Just don't put yourself in danger, okay? A hallucination-inducing medicine is probably dangerous if you misuse it. I hope you'll be as careful as you possibly can be.
Why, of all people, are you worried about me?
Because we were teammates in circus. Even if Zafora didn't agree, I could never ignore a teammate in need. Before I could say that, Zafora smiled with derision as if he figured it out.
Ah, I see. Don't you worry. I won't do anything to interfere with the performance.
Huh?
You're worried that I might be a hindrance to the show if I were dragged into trouble, right? As an information broker, I've had to wriggle out of some relatively tight corners. I'm not about to mess up now.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Then what? There's no other reason for you to be concerned about me.
We're friends. Of course I care about you. That's the only reason I have and need. Zafora's eyes frosted over even more as he glared at me.
Listen. Friends, teamwork, trust, I utterly despise groundless terms like those. As a member of Circus, I'll fulfill my role and do what's expected of me.
I wonder if he's been backstabbed by a friend. I feel like he's got that situation. That's why he doesn't want to make friends or doesn't like trust and all that stuff. I feel like someone close to him might have backstabbed him. I may be completely wrong, but that's what I feel about it.
So, as a person who is nothing but a stranger to me, you should stop meddling in my personal affairs.
But aren't we teammates with a common goal?
Don't be delusional. We are merely strangers with a common goal. I didn't join this troupe to be an actor in a play called Friendship. I do as I please. Always have and always will.
But our duty is to bring joy to the spectators who come to watch, remember? We can't accomplish that unless we all cooperate as partners. So,
no matter how long you argue with me, I won't change my opinion. You won't either, but I don't have the luxury of time to continue a meaningless conversation that's getting nowhere. I suggest you find someone else to bother.
Wait, Zafora. He didn't even allow us to progress into a true argument or discussion. Zafora cut the conversation short, and that was the end of it. How do I get through to him? I hoped that we could become a little more familiar with each other as a team with a common goal, but it didn't work at all. Feeling a little vexed, I took a step forward, thinking about taking another look around the city. I still feel like he was backstabbed. I really do. There's just something about his personality. That night, after all our investigations, our taste buds were in bliss at dinner, which also served as a debriefing session. Ooh, yummy looking. The meat seared carefully to perfection, matched with a flavorful sauce enhanced with onions. The crunchy, fresh salads drizzled with a refreshing homemade dressing. I'll be honest, it's better than my cooking.
Unbelievable. Eon doesn't seem like someone sensitive to finer details, yet he was able to make such intricate dishes.
This guy could even be a pro chef.
The food is really delicious. Looks like we've got two clear contenders for cooks in the future. Eon and Lady it is.
Eon's level's above me, but I'll do my best.
That's not true. I still have a lot to learn from you.
We exchanged pleasant banter while enjoying our meal. We moved on to formally reporting back about our findings.
So, how did it go? Did you guys find any problems with Kalita?
Yes, it truly is the city of scholars, and I admire everyone's dedication to their research, but they only seem to care about numbers and results.
In my eyes, entertainment is also notably scarce, and they likely would not be interested in a normal performance. Nobody's probably willing to pay any mind to matters uninvolved in their research.
I agree with everyone. The people in this city are too obsessed with their work. Even so, I don't think that's only because they're researchers. There's more to it. I had trouble putting it into words, and while I wrestled with myself, oh my god, the airplane outside is so loud. I am so sorry. Ratty spoke up without any delay. It's like, I swear it was like super duper loud. And watch, I bet you it won't be heard at all in the video.
Okay, to restate rather than people having few emotions, it's more like they've all got tunnel vision on what's in front of them. But yo, don't you think researchers are meant to be inquisitive peeps with strong curiosities?
Yeah, I think so. Because, well, researchers and scholars are in their current posts because they originally wanted to learn more, right?
Then it's not that they've always lacked emotions. Rather, they have forgotten the initial spark of passion, is that right?
Spot on.
If we focus promotion on the fact that we've got Velio, a dragon, and Pascalia, I think we can get a decent number of spectators.
So, it all comes down to our show's contents while keeping all that in mind,
If what we perform doesn't move them, the flora won't bloom.
This seems tough. Okay, let's start with what we can do first. What are your talents? What kind of performance do you want to put on? I'm planning on doing the addresses at the start and the end. As for the rest, well, everyone can decide for themselves.
In my case, I'm going to appear with a boom, and then bam, and they'll go, wow, pretty much.
Magic isn't exactly my expertise, so I'll work something out in another field.
I shall follow your instructions.
This is probably... No, scratch that. This is definitely not looking good.
From the looks of things, even if people come to watch, the flower's not going to budge.
Zafora was blunt about his assessment. Ratty and I were stunned speechless, and we shared a look.
Oy, this is like the stuff of nightmares, dude.
I like Ratty, he's awesome.
I think we've got more pressing issues than the city and the citizens.
When I'd heard about the show back at Lieber, it had sounded so fun, but now... My original plan was to decide our general course of action, then have everyone practice on their own for a few days, but now...
This ship's sinking before it even sets sail.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I get it. Guys, we're gonna do a pre-rehearsal show.
A pre-rehearsal? Sounds good. I think it's going to be easier to come up with plans if we take our costumes and props into consideration too.
So you want us to prep the show tent, right? The site's on top of the tower, isn't it?
Yes. Allie said the procedures are done already, so we can use it whenever. I will say, if I ever used my actual name, like if I ever used my actual name for the main character, I don't know why I'm derping right now, it would be really awkward because there's two Allies.
Okay, we've got a plan then.
Okie. Why didn't I add dokie at the end? I like okie dokie. I say that all the time. So cool looking. Fast forward to the next day. We went to the peak of the tower and set up the tent. This space had apparently been designed as a place of rest for the researchers. Since it was only used for leisure, it had been pretty easy to reserve for our own use. Ooh, I like that. All right, downright perfect. I knew I had a keen eye for gems. Ginnia had changed into a stage costume and was gushing while helping me put on makeup. In his clothes alone, he's really handsome, but the hedgehog on the hat stands out like a beacon. I can't help but stare at it. I was actually looking at that too, but I didn't say anything. I was going to, but I didn't. Hedgehog. An accessory attached to Ginnia's stage outfit. Its round eyes are mesmerizing. It seems like it's making eye contact when you look at it. Is it actually alive? His outfit was a contrast to his usual frilly style, looking sleek as it hugged his frame. Even his hat enhanced his dignity as a leader. If we ignored the hedgehog, that was. And ta-da! Your costume is done too. Everyone else was already lined up on the stage, and they were all waiting for me. But this is so embarrassing. Can I take this off, pretty please? Nuh-uh. We're also doing a costume check during the rehearsal, aren't we? Ooh, his face. Yeah. I'm heading over to the stage first, then. Don't take too long. Okay. I want to see your outfit. I wasn't one of the main performers on stage, but I was still in a performing troupe, so I'd braced myself to wear a costume that befit the association. Still. Ooh, I want to see. Oh, she actually looks cute. I love it. The instant the tent was ready, Ginia had pressured me into wearing this costume. Stage costumes. Custom-made stage costumes that Ginia went out of his way to prepare for each circus member. It's unknown when exactly he took their measurements, but they are perfect fits and allows for good mobility. They all bring out the highlight of each member's charm to the maximum. It was a mini dress with colorful stripes. My hair was tied in twin bunches with braids at a height that I'd never braved before. All of this was finished with thorough makeup. He'd even given me a wand, and before I knew it, I had undergone a complete transformation. Stalling won't help me one bit. She looks cute. I'm going to let you guys go here. I hope you are enjoying, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!